You mix water and RK.
It'll be fine for a while, all right? Sorry I wasn't able to help you at the excavation site. To be honest, I'm not sure if my functions, my skills, are at full capacity. It takes a huge amount of RK to maintain the Kuiper retroreflective active camouflage. It feels like my prosthesis and I are both slowly reaching our limits. But if the Ironheart is within our reach, I have to give it my all, even if it breaks me. The guide said that Ironheart particles are the fundamental clues we need to track it. They're kind of like footprints that the Ironheart leaves behind, wherever it goes. I compared the location of these footprints to the recon intel. We should find more conclusive data as we continue to follow the traces. I'll send the details of the zone you'll need to cover to your receive. The remaining zones will be covered by Colon operatives.
The Vulgus munitions factory. It truly is an ominous and horrifying place.
Can you feel that?
I can experience a variety of sensations through the archy of Descendants, including the phantom pain you feel.
That's for me to deal with, Guide. Don't poke your nose in where it's not wanted. Once I've dealt with my personal target, then I'll ask you to remove the pain.
You refer to the Vulgus you were pursuing. Descendant, our reconnaissance indicates this is a Vulgus weapon processing facility. To analyze the particle flow, we need to take a closer look inside.
Melt away.
The Vulgus are disrupting particle flow. Please eliminate them, Descendant.
How was that?
More enemies. I'm detecting signals from multiple Vulgus. This attack is relentless. Where are all their forces coming from?
Strange. We've already destroyed their barracks. There must be another military facility somewhere.
Judging by the particle flow, the Ironheart came through here and was moved somewhere else. I'll keep analyzing. sure why, but I'm sensing Ironheart particles in the wastewater in this zone. Can you confirm?
I've taken over operation of the environmental data collector we've installed. When we retrieve it, we'll be able to check the environmental parameters without coming into contact with contaminated wastewater. Will there be enough data for you to perform an analysis, Guide? You know our equipment can't detect Ironheart traces.
Once I complete analysis of the composition of the wastewater, I should know why I can detect Ironheart particles.
Then we'd better retrieve the data quickly. It will only be available for a limited amount of time.
This wastewater is composed of Kuiper extracts and Vulgus electrolytes. The Ironheart particles are most likely bound between those two substances. That's why they were detected intact and not dispersed.
If we can find the source of that wastewater, we could trace them more accurately. I have a place in mind. HQ. While investigating traces of the Ironheart, we've discovered a zone in the factory area that looks to have been recently expanded. Considering the circumstances, I think it's highly likely that there's an Ironheart inside. Requesting approval for further investigation.
Approval granted. But proceed with extreme caution. A large assault ship has been spotted in the airspace above the area. Based on the ship's class, we think it's the same one that we saw Corell aboard. Either he's there in person, or something worthy of his attention is happening. We should be prepared for a challenging situation. We may need to deploy more Descendants. Over and out.
Sharon, do we have any tactical weapons that are capable of destroying the entire Vulgus industrial area? If the Ironheart is here, we may be able to investigate after destroying the enemy's facility.
It's an interesting idea, Guide. But if it were possible, we would have already done it. Unfortunately, we don't have the capabilities to create such a powerful weapon. The anti-air gun in the Albion mountain range is probably our heaviest hitter. That's why the Descendants and the Ironheart are humanity's last hope. Closing the dimensional wall to isolate Ingress from the Colossi and the Vulgus. That would be the ultimate tactical weapon. Anyway, we don't have time to chat. Let's head to the restricted zone.
execution.
Tactical target achieved. Zone with substantial logistical activity discovered. A large volume of construction materials have been relocated from here to a suspect zone. At the same time, secret supplies have been transported from there back to here. This is definitely suspicious. I'll send this info to Sharon.
Descendant. I can detect both Ironheart particles and its pulse in this zone. It keeps moving. If you and Sharon can widen the range of Arche, I can obtain more accurate information. Please help me. Also, my system has been more inconvenienced than I expected. I believe that once it was restored, I would be able to locate the Ironhearts wherever they may be in Ingress. However, it may be that my system has yet to be completely restored. As I was created for the Ironheart, I assumed that my performance would not be this lackluster. In order to achieve my goal, our goal, my performance will need to improve.
Let's think about that later, if we make it out alive. If the Vulgas have a large assault ship, they'll soon be pouring into this place. Number 17 and I will operate in stealth mode. You stay sharp.
I have found a suitable location for detecting Ironheart pulses. This is a large nuclear reactor, which is connected to this entire zone. By comparing the reactor's pulses with the Vulgus biosignal, I can detect pulses from a wide area. Deactivated the nuclear reactor. But right up until it was deactivated, I could detect Ironheart pulses. I'll attempt to trace that location.
This is believed to be a Vulgus bioengineering facility. Remember the wastewater treatment plant where we found Ironheart particles? The wastewater pipes from there connect to this facility. We can figure out what the bastards have been up to when we take a look around. Look for a Vulgus terminal to access it.
Be careful, Descendant. I've identified multiple Vulgus signals inside the facility. Expect random hostilities.
We're too late. All experimental data has been deleted.
Not all of it. There's a cache of records about the most recent experiments. It's not ideal, but I'll try to restore it as best I can.
In the meantime, you and I might as well follow the Ironheart particles. This is... There are Ironheart particles and faint traces of energy everywhere. Judging by these traces, the energy extracted from the Ironheart was injected into the Vulgus submerged in the Kuiper solution. The Vulgus genes and Kuiper must have fused as a result. The pain would have been terrible. Not even the Vulgus could have endured it.
That's why there were Ironheart particles in the wastewater. When died, one of the experiment chambers is empty. Did one of them survive?
The chances of something having survived this are close to 0%, but I cannot be sure. Descendant, I have pinpointed the location where all of the Ironheart traces converge. It is hidden within the facility of the Legion of Immortality. I can detect a continuous Ironheart pulse and particles, as well as a small amount of energy from this place. And they seem to be moving. I recommend we investigate this place, Descendant. I'll need you to lend me your strength.
Sharon, I will stay behind and retrieve the cache of Vulgus experiment records. I'm sure they'll contain valuable information.
I'll enter the inner facility first. Join me when you're ready. Most of the main passageways are now either blocked or destroyed. It appears the enemy intends to destroy the entire facility. Air vents, drainage pipes, maintenance ducts. Use any available alternative means of escape if you can.
Sharon, I've restored some of the data from the Vulgus experiment. According to these records, the facility you're in is a private laboratory of General Amon of the Legion of Immortality. As it was Ironheart traces which led us to this place, Relin Amon might actually be there.
It won't be an easy fight if they are.
Sharon,
Awaiting your transmission.
the traces of the Ironheart detected here. There. Never mind. I will let you know after I've performed further analysis.
Okay, Guide. They've synchronized the alarms with the nuclear reactor's self-destruct switch. What the hell are they thinking? They'd rather take everyone and everything with them than give up the Ironheart. I can modify the circuitry, find the alarms and destroy them.
Watch your...
equipment were actually here. For now, we need to stabilize the deactivated reactor, turn on the coolers. I'll continue tracking the Ironheart traces.
Melt away.
All units transmitting critical operation details. From the restored Vulgus experiment records, I've reconstructed an audio recording that seems to have been made during the time of the experiment. Listen.
The Legion will become greater through the Ironheart. Rise, my warriors! If your lives fall,
Alone.
stand at the vanguard for me. Alzaruk. I will stand at the vanguard of the Legion. Alzaruk submits to Lord Karel's command. The Ironheart will initiate the data inversion immediately.
It cannot be. Then these Ironheart traces are...
Alzarok.
I see you found the experiment records. Seems I wasn't thorough enough with the cleanup. Yes, I am Alzaruk, Lord Karel's vanguard. Born again, thanks to the Ironheart. Lord Karel said you would come. I am to bring him your hits. I'll be waiting, Descendant.
Damn it! So the Ironheart's already gone then?
So this is why the traces felt displaced. Descendant, in order to increase the accuracy of our pursuit, we need to access all the data on Vulgus units who were transformed using the Ironheart. You must defeat Alzaruk. Sharon, will you relay a detailed report of this to HQ?
Will do. I'll be on my way. Good hunting.
Where'd you go?
A body bonded with kyber molecules is truly impressive. Very nice.
Burn.
Even more of our soldiers will gain new bodies through the Ironheart soon. I'll have your weapons on you for us as well. Lord Karel.
It is over, Descendant. But there is so much information that is hard to accept. This Alzarok is one thing. But Karel has ordered for the Ironheart to be inverted. Whatever that means. Inversion. What could that be?
truly plan on inverting the Ironheart data? If you do that, we won't be able to decipher the unidentified guide code.
Enough! The Ironheart data must be inverted in order to destroy the dimensional wall. I don't have time to think about that! You understand my vision now, don't you?
Oh, of course. I am only thinking of our research.
I'm glad to hear that our objectives are aligned. Initiate the data inversion. The path will engulf increase. The roars of the Vulgus will fill this land with fear.
Descendant, I have the results of the operation from Sharon. Alpha is tied up with an emergency meeting with the Magisters. I have been ordered to brief you on the follow-up operation. Please make your way to HQ. This is an important operation, so listen carefully. Excellent work, Descendant. This operation has yielded many results, both positive and negative. Firstly, all of HQ is encouraged by the possibilities presented by the guide. Although we were unsuccessful in our retrieval of the Ironheart, thanks to the guide's tracking function, we uncovered the Vulgus restricted zone and Alzarok. This proves the guide's tracking system exists and is operational. However, the ingenuity that the Vulgus demonstrated with their use of the Ironheart was alarming. So much so that the Magisters requested an emergency meeting with Alpha. In particular, the inversion of the Ironheart ordered by Corral is something we must understand, no matter the cost. From this point forward, HQ plans to adopt the Guide's tracking functionality and the various other information sources they offer as official operational elements. The Descendants will soon be deployed throughout Ingress. Use the Guide to track the Ironheart and proceed with the mission to investigate the inversion procedure. Humanity's full-scale counterattack has officially begun. However, I know you have just completed a difficult mission. Until the official deployment order is given, please go ahead with whatever preparations you need to make. The Magisters have promised their full commitment to support research efforts, so this is the perfect opportunity to request anything you need from an ace. Before you go, Descendant, I have a personal request. Can you retrieve the Alzarok autopsy report from Jeremy? The report was intended for delivery to the Magisters. Jeremy requested a brief look at it, and I haven't heard from him since. I understand things are strained between you and Jeremy due to the recent operation, but I hope you'll do this anyway. Descendant, just in case, I hope you're not disappointed that Jeremy wasn't punished. I actually saw Alpha slap Jeremy earlier. No one enjoys seeing their superior do something like that, but I believe it was a more appropriate punishment than a court-martial. I'm sure that Jeremy has also learned his lesson. Do you need information? What about?
Putting off introductions to your imaginary friend. What the? You're still alive? I was just reading the report on Alzarok and thinking, wouldn't it be great if he, killed you? Anyway, looks like he got to experience something interesting at least. A Vulgus redesigned by the Ironheart. Wow. Now, that's an area that fascinates me. If I knew you'd be seeing that, I would have stuck with the operation instead of dropping out. And I wouldn't have been slapped by Alpha. Anyway, why are you here? I'm in a bad enough mood already after Sharon and her minion drop by to give me a piece of their minds? What? Nell wants the report? Ah, so you're her gopher. You really are something. You can take it and buzz off. You probably don't have time to argue with me anyway. Sharon mentioned earlier that the Guide isn't in the best shape. All these so-called grown-ups having fun with their imaginary friend. Oh, get lost! You're annoying me!
Descendant, something has altered the properties of the Ironheart I was connected to. As soon as we returned to Albion, I leapt between the arcade of different Descendants in order to find Ironheart traces. I discovered traces in the desert and forest areas, and at that moment, I felt great pain. In human terms, it felt like my skin was peeling off and my flesh was melting. Descendant, I suspect this phenomenon is caused by an inversion process. If Corell and Eamon had enough time after moving the Ironheart, they may have managed to perform it. However, aside from this pain, I was unable to obtain any further information. For the properties of the Ironheart to change, a tremendous amount of energy would have to be released.
Void dimension link detected. Colossus approaching. I'm
Descendant, a Colossus has appeared. This Colossus, is it merely coincidence? Can this truly be unrelated to the Ironheart inversion? The ancestors always removed the environmental value of chance from all variables. They believed all things had a cause and an effect. My thoughts are all muddled. It would be best to focus on the Colossus for now, Descendant. As for the inversion, I will investigate.
Classification type, stunning beauty. All descendants in Albion. Prepare for an intercept battle.
They're arriving on the daily! And not just any Colossus, but stunning beauty? Somebody buy Alpha a new pen? He's gonna have to write so many letters of condolences today.
Alpha let him off with just a slap in the face. He should have gone after his neck.
I don't disagree.
What do you get when you mix water and RK? What do you get?
I am analyzing the void paradox. Descendant, the colossi discerning ingress. Although the expected time, stunning beauty is a coloss, but now suddenly one is. Descendant, I'll send you to the void dimension with. Are you ready to undertake a void intercept battle assignment? Have you completed preparations? Descendant, you have been successful. We live in uncertain times, but thankfully the skills of the Descendant, even if using the word stable in our... The dimensional wall is currently in the worst state it has ever been. Before now, it was almost unheard of. We must find the iron. Closing the dimensional wall is the only way we can...
I suppose everyone thinks the dimensional wall is the only answer.
Are you saying it isn't?
I cannot say whether it is or not. As we do not have an iron heart, nothing can be proven.
You think too much. We should find a heart and prove it then. I'm pretty sure there's one in Vespers. Traces from another iron heart have been discovered in a forest in Vespers. I've already spoken with HQ. Let's discuss operation strategies. Come with me. You said something? I'm sorry. My thoughts were elsewhere. Sorry, I know you probably wanted some rest after taking out that Colossus. Anyway, like I said over comms, we've discovered Ironheart traces in Vespers. I had business to attend to with the Order of Truth, so I was hunting down some Vulgus there. Suddenly, the guide appeared, claiming she felt the pulse of an Ironheart in the area, and then simultaneously in multiple areas. According to the guide, these multiple signals weren't byproducts of the Ironheart like Alzarok was. Comparing it with the data we have now, there really seems to be a difference. Now, well, it's obvious, isn't it? We have no other choice but to check every single location she's detected. When I came back to HQ to report on my operation, they told me to take reinforcements. And I chose you. Jeremy makes me very uncomfortable. But I have no trouble trusting you. So, you in? I'll take your silence as consent. I knew you'd accept, even if you didn't actually say it. We'll head to the Vespers outpost once you're ready. It'll give Dr. Glade time to join us.
You're here. I thought you'd be late.
We've got a few things to do. We need to hurry.
What seems to be the problem?
We've received operation details. The Ironheart pulse has supposedly been detected in this area, but it's impossible to triangulate since it's dispersed in several directions.
That's correct, Clay. I can feel it clearly, but it's hard for me to pinpoint its exact position. However, I can confirm it is in this zone.
We were deployed here to find one thing, and now we also have to find the Ironheart. We'll have to look under every rock in Vespers.
Freyna and I were sent here to look for a group of Vulgus, who have stolen RK serum from Jaber and some other descendants. Freyna, Sharon, even I've already had my RK serum stolen by them once. Things will only get worse if we let them take any more of it.
Those bastards. They satisfy their own desires by taking everything we humans have. They have to be stopped.
If the Ironheart is underground, then it makes sense that we're detecting the pulse in multiple locations. Not only is 55% of the surface of Vespers composed of slickinside, but this zone has a high distribution of strange-looking rocks. It's also one of the few zones where there are Ancestors' ruins on the surface, and most of the Ancestors' ruins are built out of slickinside. That's why it's difficult to pinpoint the exact point of origin of the pulses. The characteristics of slickinside make it easier for pulses to pass through it, which means there's a higher probability of pulses being detected simultaneously from multiple directions.
When I analyze the strata, there are spaces that feel empty to me. They are most likely where the Ancestors' ruins can be found. All entrances to these spaces emit pulses of similar intensity. However, you will need to confirm in person whether these places are the correct paths to lead us to the Ironheart.
In that case, we'll need to check all the places detected by the guide. There's no way the Vulgus didn't prepare for this.
All right, let's spread out and find the entrance that leads underground. That'll split the enemy's attention, so it's a good tactical approach as well.
Freyna, I understand there are specialized drones that Albion has created to find the Ironheart.
That's correct. Enzo's sending the drones here shortly.
That is excellent news. Let's begin our search for the Ironheart in earnest.
This is your grave.
Hey there, Descendant. I'm Catherine Hill, a biotechnology researcher. You can call me Kate. Don't worry, I don't need anything special. I'm looking for samples from Order of Truth units. The good thing about the Order is that they have a high composition of organic matter, so it makes it easy to track biosamples. We might even be able to get data that could help us with tracking the Ironheart. If you could, I need you to help me collect biosamples from the Order of Truth. Although it pains me to say this as a bioengineer, we need to ignore ethics around how you collect samples from the Vulgus. Basically, eliminate them first, then collect the samples. Simple, right?
Watch your feet.
Samples you collected. Destroy the interrupter. disruptor. Protect the samples. Thanks, Descendant. I'll analyze this quickly and share the details with you.
I